Today we're going to talk about what to do on days when you don't feel like working, because guess what? Your girl's in Mexico. And do you think I feel like working when you're in Mexico? No, you do not. You want to, I don't know, lay by the pool. You want to sip margaritas. You want to do anything other than getting work done. And literally on Friday, I needed to record this video and get it edited for Monday to post. And here I am, it's Monday morning, and I'm filming this on the day it goes out because I could not find the will to work. And so we're going to talk about the exact steps that I use when I don't feel like getting my to-do list done, and it's especially hard when you're a business owner. So we're going to break down the steps so the next time you don't feel like working, you know exactly what to do to get your work done. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Ashley Milky. I'm a certified life and business coach, and I help you make your life easier by, going through the trials and tribulations of my own life. So if you want to watch videos about how to solve all your problems, watch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by hitting the subscribe and that little notification bell. Okay, into the video. Okay, so your first step when you don't feel like working is first identifying why you don't feel like working. What's going on? What is the emotion there? What is the reason you don't feel like working today? Are you tired? Are you overwhelmed? Are you hating the job that you have to get done? For me, I was extremely tired on Friday. I had a big, long to-do list, including this video that I didn't want to do, and I just was so tired because on Tuesday I flew to Mexico, which was a very early morning. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, got 3 hours of sleep. It was horrible, and I think that really just set me up on a track to feel tired for the whole entire week. And usually on Fridays, my brain is pretty fried anyway, and I try not to do work as a business owner on Fridays. I try to have those be very, very chill days in my business and be done by 12 because usually I don't have a lot of mental space, a lot of mental clarity to give to the universe. And so first we have to figure out why. And so for me, the reason why is because I'm tired. And by figuring out why you don't feel like working, it can help you prepare in the future. And we'll get to that later. For example, like if I know every Friday that I'm going to be exhausted because usually I spend most of my energy in the front half of the week, then I'm not going to plan big tasks. And now I know not to plan YouTube videos and filming YouTube videos on Friday. The next step is to create a plan to address the why. Why don't you feel working? How can we address that? So for example, the why I didn't feel like working is because I was extremely tired. I felt like my eyes weren't open yet and my brain had nothing going on inside of it. And so the immediate thing I could do to address that was taking a nap, which I did. I was like, okay, 10 minutes, mandatory close your eyes, no stimulation, just sit here and just be one with your body. And that's what I did. And it did help me get the refresh that I needed to be like, okay, maybe I could venture into work. But whatever it is, if it's something bigger than that, like obviously if I'm super tired, I might need a full day of rest to recover. That's okay. Just find yourself little ways that you can recover from the situation and the reasons why you don't want to work. Now, if it's something like you're doing a job that you don't enjoy doing and that's why you don't enjoy working, and maybe you need to start delegating that task out, but you can't immediately do that on the day that you're working, that's when these other tips we're going to talk about are going to help you most. Okay, step number 3 is setting a bare minimum list of things you want to get done for the day. Like bare minimum, if you were only to do 3 things today, what would those 3 things be? What would they look like? And would they be the things to move the needle forward? For example, I know every day, as long as I post my TikTok videos, my Instagram videos, and probably send out an email, I'm good for the day. Those are my money-making activities. Those are things that I know are going to continue to grow my business and move me forward. And so those were the things that were on my bare minimum list. You want to have those things on your list and know them every day. So on those days where you don't feel like working, you're like, okay, as long as I can do these things, I know I'm on the right track. This is really helpful when you start to do like bigger projects inside of your business, and you can have like a big project management kind of list or task manager, and then break those down into smaller tasks. This is something I do with my clients in a program called Burnout Breakup. A lot of people end up getting burnout and hating their work because they are not good at managing their tasks. And I think it's like you're only really supposed to have 3 main goals every day, and most people overflow their to-do list with things anyway. So this is a great place to start, is by first like just, do you have bare minimum tasks that you can get done and feel proud of? And then eventually you want to learn how to do bigger project management, so that way the projects you're doing inside of your business, maybe launching an offer, selling a new product, finishing a sales page, those all have dedicated things that allow you to continue to move forward. And here's an example of my list of bare minimum to-dos that I got done. And then you'll see some bonus to-dos on there, which were things that are like, this is going to be helpful, but it might not be done today. I had a really awesome coach who taught me this system called Good, Better, Best for getting work done, because I too would like just overflow my to-do list with things that I needed to do. And so what you want to do is you have your good enough list, which is like those top 3 things that you want to get done bare minimum today. better is like, okay, if I got to these things, that would be better, but it's not the best case scenario. And then your best list, which is like, this is like best case scenario. I've had all the energy in the world. I would love to get all of these things done today. I do this a lot with my clients when they're feeling really overwhelmed, especially as new business owners or scaling business owners, and they have a lot of work to take on. This can really help you get in the mindset where you're like, okay, I know what to do to make sure my business grows, but I have this really awesome list, and if I have energy, I want to do all these things. Because the problem is with online business, or just any business, is like the work is never done. You're going to keep working, and you're going to keep having projects to work on. And so lists like this can help you stay focused without really burning yourself out. So the next thing we want to do is set time for how long you're going to work. Is it going to be 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours? I set up 2 hours of work time. I was like, you will sit here for 2 hours and do everything that needs to get done, and that'll be enough. And so that's what I did. I was like, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. we're going into deep work time. And if you haven't read this book called Deep Work, I forget the author, I'm going to put it up here. Read it. It's so helpful to learn about how our brain really functions when we give it a deep amount of time to work on things. I have a lot of clients who try to do task management by, putting things on their calendar, like 10 to 11, I'm going to be doing emails, 10 to 10:30, I'm going to be doing something else, right? And they break it up like that. But I've found what actually helps me inside of my business is these deep work time blocks where I'm like, okay, for the next 2 hours, this is the one project I'm working on. For example, in the morning when I didn't feel like working, my 10 to 12 time period was my money making activities. So 3 tasks that I knew would move the needle forward in my business. With some of my other clients, we also think about, okay, from 10 to 12, maybe you're only doing marketing tasks. And maybe from 1 to 4, you're only working with clients and you're only doing things for your clients. And those are things that can also help you on the days that you don't feel like working, because you already have like immediate decisions made for you on the work that you're about to do. This next part is so important. You need to make working fun. And for me, do you think I wanted to sit down for 2 hours on a Friday and do any kind of work while I'm in Mexico? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I did not. But you know what really helped was pumping up the loudest EDM music I could put on my headphones and dancing around for, 2 or 3 songs before I actually started diving into the work. I had some emails to write, and like, holy moly, getting into that zone was so necessary, and it was so easy to hype myself up. And this is something I do every day that I don't feel like working. When I go back to Boston from Mexico, I know the sun's going to be setting earlier and earlier, and winter is coming, and winter just makes me sad. And so I'm going to have to start using these tools that I have to force myself to work on the days I want to even more. And I always dance around to EDM music in the morning when I don't feel like working. So find music that hypes you up, make yourself dance for 10 minutes or 2 songs, even if you feel crazy. It'll change the day. The other thing that's super important when you're trying to get work done and you don't feel like doing it is having backup. Like, who can support you in doing this stuff? Who can help you make decisions? Who can alleviate some of these tasks? This is like, if you have team members, it's an awesome time to start delegating on the days you don't feel like working. But for me, like, sometimes my brain is so fried, like on Friday, and I couldn't come up with an email subject line, and I was like, what am I going to do? You know that, what is that TikTok sound? Come on, brain. Think of things. Come on, brain. Think so. That was me. I had nothing to give. And so I called my sister, and she helped me come up with an email subject line. So that is an awesome place. Like, if you have people that you can collaborate, people that you can help stem ideas off of, so that way you're not feeling so stuck in the tasks that you're doing. The other thing is, on Friday, I found this crazy like artificial intelligence writing app. It's called Jasper AI. This is not sponsored. I just discovered it. And it like automatically writes blogs for you. It'll write posts for you. It'll write sales pages for you. It's really crazy. And the really cool thing is it writes email subject lines for you, and you literally like write what is the topic of the email and like what is it about, and then it generates all these email subject lines. And I tested it, and it's not horrible. I'm kind of into it. I don't know about the price point yet. I'm still exploring it, but I'll let you guys know how I feel about it. And things like that can also help you. So it might not be a person, it might be something artificial, but either way, start finding support, because that will help you get those tasks done. Now, here's the part where we have to get really honest with ourselves, because obviously we want to do these really long, big to-do lists, especially on days when we don't feel like working, because that's always how it goes. Then after you do all of those things that I've mentioned, and maybe you've done that mandatory time of how long you're going to work, you want to check back in on your to-do list. Like, did you do all the things that you wanted to do? And if not, what's actually manageable for you? For example, on my to-do list, one of my very last things on Friday was film the YouTube video. And I literally knew, I was like, there's no way I could get to that. And I was even trying to convince myself to film the video. And I was like, okay, Ashley, it's only 5 minutes. You just have to sit down and talk for 5 minutes. It's only this, it's only that. So I was trying to make it feel really, really easy, really, really obtainable for myself. But I was like, honest with myself and I was like, I do not have the mental energy or clarity to sit down and film a 5-minute YouTube video. That sounds so horrible to me. And I think it's really cool when you get to a place where you can realize, like, you can have that other voice in your head where you're like, I don't want to do this thing. And that other voice in your head is like, well, then don't. You know, like, don't do that thing. There's nothing forcing you to do anything when you're a small business owner. You get to make all the decisions. Obviously, now here I am at 8 a.m. on a Monday recording a YouTube video, but that is okay because now I have way more mental clarity than I did on Friday. And so you want to check in and be really, really honest about what you can get done and what you cannot. And if you cannot get things done, that's okay. Do not shame yourself because not everybody's going to want to work every single day. And that's fine. But what I will say is make a plan for those things that you didn't get to, right? I didn't just say, oh, I don't feel like working on a Friday and I'm not going to film my YouTube video. I made the plan to come and sit here and film this at 8 a.m. on a Monday. And even on Friday, the last task that I did was outline, like, what would this video be about? And it's so funny because I thought, like, this, I was like, oh my God, this video has to be about, like, such this good topic. I have to come up with a good idea. And I was like, okay, if I could talk about anything I wanted, what would I talk about? And I was like, I want to talk about how I don't feel like working right now. And I really don't feel like working right now. And so I made a whole video about how I don't feel like working and what I did about it. And if you're a small business owner, it can be as easy as that. It can be as easy as you telling your story, you showing people how you make decisions, you showing people how you're doing things in a really authentic way. Most people wouldn't sit down and be like, I don't feel like working as a small business owner, because everyone's like, you should love your business is your passion, work a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And it's like, that's not true. Sometimes work is work and it just is what it is, and you're not going to want to work every single day and you don't have to. But like I said, come up with a plan to get things done on the days when you don't feel like working, because there's no shame in that. You just have to take ownership and come up with a plan to keep moving you forward. And then I will also say, once you do the to-do list or do the task that you really didn't want to do, let's say on a Friday morning or afternoon, go celebrate yourself. I celebrated myself by going to get some ice cream with a friend in Mexico, and I was like, yes, this is amazing. On Saturday we went and got massages, and that was amazing, and I rested the entire weekend, and I just rewarded myself for the things that I did get done, even though I didn't get to the YouTube video, and now I'm gonna have to mad dash to edit this on a Monday morning, but it's totally fine. It's totally fine, and it's okay. And so don't shame yourself. If you don't feel like working, you're not gonna wanna feel like working every single day. Do the bare minimum, make yourself happy. And if you're someone who's struggling to, you know, feel excited about working and trying to figure out what tasks to get done and all of those things, check out my program Burnout Breakup, because it really is about helping you understand how to ditch those toxic beliefs that are forcing you to overwork yourself. I mean, there was a time when I would sit down and if I had stuff to do on a Friday, I would force myself to do it, even if it wasn't very good, even if it made me frustrated, even if it made me more tired. And that was all because of the mindsets I had around work and money and success. I was like, oh, you have to work hard to make money. You have to do this to make money. Rest isn't productive. And so in that program, we reprogram all of those mindsets so you can get to the place where if it's a Friday afternoon and you don't feel like working, not only are you in the mental space where you can say, okay, I don't have to work because I know my business will be successful, you also have the system set up to support that. Because I believe that every entrepreneur's goal, and my goal, is to start working less and less as my empire grows. And if you want to watch yourself make more money and earn more income while working less and enjoying more of your life and enjoying more of that money you're making for yourself in places like Mexico or wherever you want to travel and go on vacation, or maybe at home in a really luxury mansion, whatever you want to have, definitely check out Burnout Breakup, because that's the life that we are creating for our clients inside of it. The link is in the description below, as well as a bunch of other goodies for you. Make sure you hit subscribe. I'll have another video for you guys on Wednesday afternoon. And until then, leave comments with questions and I'll make a video about whatever you ask me. All right, bye.